Coming up, we'll learn more about young volunteers at Jing Books and Cafe and their mission. We take a look at the urgent problems faced by Taiwan's colleges and universities. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen L. Thank you for joining us. To continue their assistance for quake survivors in Nepal, Tsuji's 10th Disaster Relief and Medical Team recently organized a free clinic at the Chuche Party Teng community in Kathmandu. Besides tending to residents' medical needs, volunteers also pass on basic health tips. Despite the heavy rain, Tsuji's disaster relief and medical team still made it to the Chuche Party Teng community in Kathmandu to hold a free clinic. Local volunteers arrived early to make sure the venue was ready. The volunteers also set up a path in brick so everyone could avoid the mud. As soon as the free clinic begins, the rainfall slowly stops. Medical personnel busily address the patient's needs in the consulting area.
Most of the people are living in the tent, so their most chief complaints as back pain, like leg pain, headache. And due to psychological problems also, they are having such problems. We are here to service them as far as possible.
Among the doctors is the superintendent of Madhyapur Hospital, who made it a point to attend the free clinic despite just finishing a surgery earlier in the day.
Doctor, your next schedule is?
I will go to Chuchepati Suji Foundation Association and the Medical Association for the free camp.
Following the strong quake, Tsuji's disaster relief and medical team has organized dozens of free clinics to alleviate sufferings. Each time the team has a different goal in mind.
Today we can see that the children have learned how to wash their hands properly. We hope Tsuji's free clinics don't just alleviate illness, but also educate people on staying healthy.
Today, Tri Huvan University's part-time multiple campus principal and faculty have also arrived to learn from Tsuji.
We know that you are organizing a very good program, sanitation, health campaign programs, and so many things I happen to know. I was very interested to know it. That's why we are here.
Including different from previous free clinics, today a group of youngsters has shouldered the task of media volunteers.
We are documenting! Go, go, go!
By participating in the free clinic as media volunteers, these youngsters look to document the beauty and spirit of Tsuji for all to see. If you walk inside any Jing Books and Cafe branch across Taiwan, you'll come across a group of young children between the ages of 3 and 12 at your service. They're the young volunteers at the Jing Books and Cafe. 10 years following its inception, there are now 1,200 young volunteers who give up their weekends and free time to serve others because, unlike other children their age, they also shoulder the mission of purifying the hearts and minds of the public.
绿色的。不是这样子吧？2包绿色，1包紫色，你的不重，1点都不重。缺了这个，不是缺了这个。我最喜欢。
I love coming to the Jing Books and Cafe. We get to make many new friends here, and we can help mentor our younger peers.
When you walk inside any Jing Books and Cafe, you will come across a group of children between the ages of 3 and 12 who are at your service and ready to assist. They are the young volunteers of the Jing Books and Cafe. While some signed up on their own accord, others were inspired by their older brothers and sisters to volunteer. Currently, there are 1,200 Jing Books and Cafe volunteers across Taiwan. This program stemmed from an idea which originated 10 years ago.
After seeing their older brothers and sisters helping out, some of the little ones were keen to do the same. And we thought, why not let them help out as volunteers? So we established a formal network, and they became the young volunteers of the Jing Books and Cafe.
These young volunteers work in rotating shifts at the cafe. However, unlike the average bookstore, parents work alongside their children.
If we were doing this for commercial gain, we would have to invest a lot of time on human capital development. However, the Jing Books and Cafe were not established for commercial gain. but to purify people's hearts and minds. It is a place where people can find nourishment for the soul.
Since its inception in 2005, the program has brought parents and children together to volunteer at the cafe.
Whether it is learning to serve others or the benefits he can gain through the experience, we hope by bringing Mingxuan here, he can learn to interact and engage with others.
Besides volunteering in an environment infused with Tzu Chi's humanitarianism, these children are also exposed to Dharma at a young age through the annual Sutra musicals organized by the Jing Books and Cafe. This year, Jing Books and Cafe hopes to recruit an additional 1,400 members. The Young Volunteers program has not only become well known locally, Tzu Chi volunteers abroad have even traveled to Taiwan to learn the necessary skills and knowledge.
For instance, last year we had some volunteers from the United States come and learn about our volunteer program. Now they have about some 50 young volunteers in Northern California. They have begun recruitment in Malaysia as well.
These young volunteers shoulder the important responsibility of inspiring goodness in society.
These young volunteers have a sense of purpose and mission, and Tzu Chi's humanitarianism will accompany them through life.
In story after story, we have seen how Tzu Chi changes its volunteers for the better, and Zhanghua Tzu Chi volunteer Yang Guohua's story is no exception. Replacing frowns with smiles and tension with love, Yang's introduction and eventual entry into Tzu Chi has brought love not to his heart, but to all those he meets.
The man behind the lens is Tzu Chi volunteer Yang Guohua. His job is to capture the beauty of Tzu Chi with his camera. Suffering from polio when young, Yang now needs crutches to stand. When taking pictures, he uses every bit of strength to keep his body upright and still.
Normally, we stand on two legs, but for me, I balance myself on 3 points, 1 leg and 2 crutches.
It is a position that often leaves Yang trembling in exhaustion.
Every time I take a picture, I need to hold my breath, steady my body, and focus my spirit as I look for the perfect moment.
It's about giving, regardless of the obstacles, physical or otherwise.
I'm constantly wiping away my tears as I shoot. I'm often moved beyond words with what I see.
Seeing him struggle so, I feel that for us who are healthy, we should be working even harder.
Yang joined Tzu Chi as a result of his children becoming Tzu Shaos.
They created their opportunities and also gave me opportunity to grow. In the past, my dad would work from morning till night. At night, he would drink and often get drunk and angry.
They were scared of him and would always check to see his mood when he came home. Now they are always happy to see him.
These changes started after Yang became part of Tzu Chi, and no one saw it clearer than Yang's wife. Giving up alcohol and cigarettes, Yang has forged a closer bond with his children and they with him. Every weekend, they now volunteer to help Yang at his factory.
Some of things are too heavy to carry for my mom, and she is busy with other things, so I will help pack things and ready them for delivery.
Knowing that his father found happiness in Tzu Chi, his son has this to say.
Dad, don't worry about me. I'm old enough to look after myself. You just continue to focus on Tzu Chi.
In the eyes of his children, Yang Guohua now is not only a devoted Tzu Chi volunteer, but the world's best dad.
To help youth volunteers prepare for the upcoming children's camp in Suzhou, China, Tzu Chi volunteers recently held a 3-day pre-camp training. During the camp, youth volunteers learned ways to save on energy and money.
Youth volunteers walking along, each wearing PET bottles as shoes. Children in Africa use PET bottles because they can't afford shoes, and therein lies the message the volunteers hope to get across.
Although they have plenty of shoes to wear, they will still want another pair. So our goal is to try to get the children to reflect on the difference between needs and wants.
Ahead of the start of the children's camp, youth volunteers and city volunteers come together to discuss the lessons they hope to impart. Next, as they walk through a tunnel full of garbage, participants learn what the earth might be like one day if we don't recycle. For youth volunteer Zhang Yuexin, the activities and their social component are like a match made in heaven.
I have always been pretty open and like to be around people and have fun, so being a part of these activities really suits me.
Finding her place, her heart has really opened up. Now in every part of her body, she's dancing.
While youth volunteer Wu Jiajia, although running a temperature, was determined to take part in the camp and learn what she could.
I really want to learn from the volunteers here, so I am determined to stay. When your heart is truly involved in something, you will not feel tired anyway.
There were others who didn't show up for the camp, a matter of the coordination team looked into, as they covered every detail to ensure the camp started and ended on a perfect note.
In this week's news series, we take a look at troubles faced by Taiwan's colleges and universities, though their numbers have increased in recent years to make higher learning more readily available to all. The number of students has decreased sharply due to Taiwan's low birth rate, which has caused several colleges to shut down. Here's our report.
The University of Kangling and Kangling Junior College of Medical Care and Management are the first two private institutions in Taiwan to merge. Though the college in Taipei always had full enrollment, the university in Tainan suffered from low attendance, which is typical of universities in southern Taiwan. In February of 2014, Kaohsiung College of Digital Content in Pingtung closed suddenly without any prior announcement, shocking both its faculty and students still on winter break.
All the students could do was go in immediately and apply to take the semester off. But in essence, they dropped out of school.
If a school only proceeds to transfer its faculty and students after it has received approval to close down, then that's not really a resettlement plan, which was what happened to both Yongda and Kaohsiung.
So while so many colleges in Taiwan are in trouble, most believe the policy of making higher education more readily available is to blame.
Less than 20% of people around my age have a college degree, which is quite low. If you look at other developed countries, that figure might be 50, 60, or even 70%. If we're saying only few people can have access to a higher education, that it is the privilege of a few, then are we not condoning elitism?
Taiwan's educational reform in the 90s called for more private colleges and universities to be established. Thus, the number of colleges and universities went from 75 in 2004 to 142 in less than 10 years.
Though an increase of 67 universities and College of Technology may seem a lot, I mean to allow so many higher institutions to be established so quickly. But 47 of the 67 were actually formerly vocational high schools, which became colleges of technology. So the number of new higher institutions was actually only 20.
A more detailed examination of the numbers revealed that only 20 new colleges, universities were established. But during this period of 10 years, the birth rate in Taiwan declined sharply.
Taiwan's birth rate only started to decline in 1998. Before that, newborns averaged 320,000 a year. But suddenly, in 1998, the number of newborns dropped below 300,000.
Birth rate took a plunge for 2 consecutive years after 1998. Though it leveled off, it plunged below 260,000 after 2001 and hasn't recovered since. According to statistics compiled by the Ministry of Education, by 2016, 20,000 less people will be attending college, while by 2024, the
Few nations in the world have seen such a rapid decrease in birth rate as Taiwan. It's not that the government can't do anything to cope with low birth rate, but it happened so quickly that nothing can be done to prevent the impact it will have in Taiwan in the future. Birth rates just won't spike up sharply.
A storm is brewing and it will strike Taiwan's current education system hard. And currently, no one knows what will happen to those caught in the storm.
Next, we meet 8-year-old young vegetarian呂宥霖, who started to embrace vegetarianism as a kindergartner. As a Jing Books and Cafe volunteer, he helps promote vegetarian products. He's also concerned about how planet Earth has been polluted and draws pictures of Earth, hoping more people will join him in protecting the environment.
Planet is sick, with fever and red smoke. This represents the factories that produce black smoke. The green thing means poisons have flowed into the ocean, leading to the death of sea creatures. We need to take action now that the ozone layer is broken.
现在就要立即行动。我来带路。我好久没有浇花了。那个帮我们制造好的空气。
Now community residents burn joss papers at one central location. He thought everyone had heard of the campaign against burning joss papers, so he asked why people are still burning joss paper.
祖先并不会。
Our ancestors will not punish us because we do not burn joss papers or joss sticks. Our ancestors will be delighted if we help people with respect and love.
去帮助人，祖先就会很开心。
虽然得到的回应不是很友善。
Although the neighbors did not listen to him, he did not give up. He'll tell them again next year.
会跟他们再讲一遍这样子。
我5岁的时候是。
I was a semi-vegetarian when I was 5. Then I was almost a vegetarian when I was in kindergarten. Now I'm a vegetarian.
就完全全素。我有吃过这个，很好吃，这是素的。然后这个是无糖的五谷粉。那我8岁。
你很喜欢跟人家介绍产品哦。
嗯。为什么？因为要推广出去，吃素就会对身体很健康。像如果是常常吃猪肉、牛肉，它那个。 这样我们肠子要到2个小时才会消化掉。因为我们如果吃掉
If we eat a chicken, the other chickens will miss him. In addition, farmers inject hormones into the chickens to help them grow. That is bad for the animals and worse for humans who eat them.
打一针，然后让它们要长很大只，这样子。 对动物不好，然后我们人类吃下去，对我们人更不好。
其实我觉得小孩子还是常常能够教导大人。
I think children can teach adults. Adults will continue to do what they're used to, but the children are like seeds that are sprouting. They're very pure. When taught to do the right thing, they'll do it and make an impact on the adults, will then change their bad habits. That's what I've learned from them.
这是我在他们身上学到的。
Environmental protection is an important concept both in and out of classrooms. The Ministry of Education in Malaysia recently sponsored a 2-day science and technology fair at a high school in Damansara. Among the exhibitors, local Tzu volunteers were invited to set up a booth to promote environmental protection and eco-friendly living. Let's take a look.
Under the guidance of the Ministry of Education, Banda Utama Damansara No. 3 High School held a 2-day science and technology fair, which included an exhibition on planet Earth.
我们有义务呢，让我们的学生了解到这个。
We have the responsibility to let the students know planet Earth is sick. With Tzu support, we incorporated the concept of environmental protection into our event.
帮助为地球做一份力的这个环保的这个概念呢带进来。
The Tzu Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter was invited by the school to set up an environmental protection booth at the fair. to help students learn ways to protect the environment in their daily life.
We learn ways to protect the environment. The most important thing is to reduce consumption of meat, as raising cattle pollutes the environment.
At the exhibition, city volunteers inform visitors about the causes of pollution and ways to lead an eco-friendly lifestyle. They hope their efforts can inspire youngsters to one day take action themselves to protect the earth.
In Taiwan, the Environmental Protection Administration collects and processes food waste. However, in Malaysia, much of food waste is dumped into garbage bins and ends up in landfill sites. With a firm determination to reduce garbage and protect the environment, city volunteers in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, have been turning food waste produced by the central kitchen in Jing into compost.
The kitchen is the place where the largest amount of garbage is produced. Besides throwing away food waste, what can we do with it?
In Malaysia, about 15,000 tons of food waste is produced daily, and most of it is dumped into the trash can.
If we cannot process the food waste, we usually throw it into the trash can. However, after I joined Tzu Ji, I noticed many volunteers mindfully processing food waste. To avoid this,
at the central kitchen of the Jing Hall in Kuala Lumpur, volunteers cook food for 120 people each day, 6 days a week. When there's a large event, the numbers rise to as high as 2,000 people. So how much food waste is left over? The answer is none.
They put rotten vegetables in a basket for us to process. Since we love planet Earth, we turn food waste into compost.
The volunteers collect food waste with barrels before giving them to recycling volunteers, who will then turn it into organic compost.
Every week I drive to Jing Hall to bring back about 20 barrels of food waste, each barrel weighing about 20 to 30 kilograms. Then I add them to the compost in the vegetable garden.
A recycling volunteer has built a vegetable farm in residential area, and the organic compost made from food waste has nourished the soil here.
We make the compost and help protect the environment. These are two good deeds that must be done.
Turning food waste into compost, city volunteers have again held firm to their resolve to reduce garbage and make use of what could have polluted the environment.
We go back to Taiwan at the end of the show, where Jing in Tainan hosted a summer camp for teenagers. By participating in the camp, many have learned to cherish their blessings and fulfill their filial duties. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.